Tell me when.
Yeah, we're rolling.
Okay, so we're going to open this one. It's a 1960 pack. I think that, very quickly, the reason that this is a real pack is that you've got the tapering line down the left side. You got the wreath with the correct amount of snowflakes. You have the season's greetings centered in the middle right here. And, of course, the staples with the stripes. Those are all the telltale signs of a fake pack to real pack. So we're going to go ahead and break this out and open it. And hopefully we'll have a Mickey Mantle or something like that inside that makes this investment worth it. These are fairly easy to break into, so we didn't want to have to break it like that, but I guess we will. Hey, somebody watch him.
Hey. Okay.
Oh, we need a scissors, Zach. Do you have a scissors handout? All right, might as well just open this one up since we're doing this too. Okay, this is obviously same situation here. This is a 1960 pack. These are both common packs, but I think that I like this one because there's a lot of high numbers showing, which is indicative of there's a potential for good stuff in this one. Cool. So that's why I'm hoping that we're going to find a Mickey Mantle or something like that. Sorry, Nick.
Yep.
Get in here a little bit. I'll do that in one second.
No, I think I got it all.
Alright, so we got them both out.
Yeah.
Alright, let's do this. Sweet. Let's open this pack first right here.
Whoa, that's a dead end.
This is the one that I think is going to have potentially good cards in it because there's a lot of high numbers. Mostly when you buy these packs, you want to buy them for what you're seeing on there because my experience has been you're going to get a lot of commons. Just like any pack, if you open a real pack of tops, anybody knows that your chance of hitting a star card is slim, and that's the way it is in the real pack too. So let's see what we got here. I think I'm going to go up the side and see if we can go out this way is better. Alright. Let's see what we got here. First card. Centering is really nice on this card. Got a Russ Snyder, Tony Kubek.
Oh.
Centering's a little bit off. Still a good card right there. It's certainly not what we're looking for, but we'll take a Tony Kubek in there. It's still desirable.
Okay.
All right. Anytime you get a Yankee, it's like the Yankees are, of course, I'm sure somebody online, when they see me open this, is going to be all pissed off with the way I'm doing it. You open it like a rookie amateur. You're an idiot. Why aren't you wearing gloves? Hey, they're my packs. Suck it.
Oh.
Frank Thomas.
Look who it is.
Oh, I love Frank Thomas.
Billy Martin. Yay. Hall of Famer in the middle. Check it. Chickadee check it.
Check
Hall
that
of
out,
Famer
baby.
in the middle. All right. It's not a beautiful card, but, I mean, it's centered well. I would tend to think that this card will probably grade in at like a 6 or so, just because it doesn't look real super clear, but 6 or 7, who knows. All right, so we'll take a Hall of Famer in the middle all day long. Makes it worth it right there. I noticed there's a lot of Billy Martins in these, though. I have like 3 packs that have Billy Martin on the cover in this year, so I'm not really that surprised. There must have been a lot of stock on Billy Martin. Still not getting it out the bottom. Alright, last ones. Tom Brewer. Willie Miggity Mays.
Oh, no way.
We'll take that all day long. Emilio Pasquale, All-Star. And then we knew Wrangler. But that's sweet. See, we got 2 Hall of Famers in 1 pack right here. So people should be taking note right now that out of a common pack, we just pulled 2 Hall of Fame cards. And that is a good investment all day long for the price I bought this pack. So, this card's off center. Not surprising to stuff that's in these overstocks. that you're getting a lot of the Topps overstock that didn't make the first run. All right, let's get in the second pack. We want to see a Mickey Mantle, though, or something. That's what I want to see.
That'd be nice. I just don't know many of these players.
Have you never heard of Billy Martin, though?
I've heard of Billy Martin and Willie Mays, but that's out of those were the only ones.
So you got to remember that like all these records have been shattered. Willie Mays has 660 homers, which there was a point in time where that was like second all time, I believe. And then of course Hank Aaron came along, and then he passed Babe Ruth even. All right, I didn't get a very good cut on that side. If this side, see if it's better. Man. See, this is a reason, this is good that we're filming this, because this is a good reason when people say that these packs are tampered with and stuff. Anybody who could fucking open this and tamper with it and reseal it, I defy. How would you? Tell me how you would on this particular type of pack. You have to destroy it to open it up, man. There's just no way. Can't even get into the damn thing without damaging the cards. Sorry, guys. I'm trying. I know everybody out there is probably... But since this is going to get seen now...
Were you okay, buddy?
Uh-oh. Good thing he has a hard head, like his daddy.
You okay?
Somebody's just going to rail me online for cutting these cards like this. I'm an idiot and an amateur, but I don't fucking care. I'm trying to get in this shit now. It's really starting to annoy me. Alright, this pack's open finally. Alright, here we go. Rip Coleman, no one. Common, of course. We know the backs are commons already. I bought it like that, of course. Man, I guess if I had a razor blade, it would have helped.
A pocket knife?
There we go. Man, wow, that's hard to get into. All right, what do we got? We got a Fred Kipp. Danny Kravitz, no relation to Lenny. Frank Larry, that's a crappy looking card, though. All right, down to the nitty gritty.
All right.
Oh, this one just came right out. Joe Nuxall, have you heard of him?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Bob Shaw, this is the last one that we got something on. One pack was way better than the other. All right, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.